Hi children, welcome back to the lesson separation of substances. In the we already discussed about the different types of separation methods, and as well as now let us solve some problems. For example, if the sugar and sand mix together, now there is a mixture of sugar and sand. How can you separate them? Can you able to separate these two? Yes. How can you separate? Simply, we have to take sugar and salt. For example, these are the crystals of sugar and salt that is taken in the beaker. And now, to separate them, simply we have to add water. We have to add water. Okay. When you add water, what happens? Whatever the sugar that is present in this, the sugar get dissolved. Okay, the sugar gets dissolved and only sand will be remain at the bottom. It remains at the bottom. Now, however, by using a filter, we can separate the pure sugar solution. Now it is sugar solution. It is sugar solution. Now we got sugar solution, pure sugar solution. What we did here, simply we filtered, right? So we get sugar solution as a filtrate. So whatever the sugar solution that you get, you may take into another beaker. And what happens here, when you arrange a filter paper, the sand particles will be trapped here. So these are sand particles. Now in the first stage we separated sand and sugar, but here we need sugar in pure form. Now it is with the water. We no need of sugar water, we need only sugar, right? So however, here sand is removed. Why? Because sugar is soluble, sand is insoluble. When you mix in the water, what happens? The sugar crystals, they are going to be dissolved in water and sand remains as it is. So what it indicates, depending upon the solubility of the material, we separated sand and sugar, right? But however, we need to separate them perfectly. Now we remove the sand from this, but sugar is stuck in the form of sugar solution. Now we have to remove the sugar solution from the sugar from the sugar solution. So here it is the beaker which contains sugar solution. What we have to do? Simply we have to follow evaporation method. So what happens in evaporation? Simply when you boil the water or sugar solution, then the liquid portion of this means the water evaporates and finally the sugar crystals, they remain at the bottom of the vessel. So these are sugar crystals or sugar, pure sugar. So we separated sand and we separated sugar. So what kind of method we used here? We used two separation methods to separate the mixture. Number one, filtration method. Number two, evaporation method. Like this, each and every material means some mixtures can be separated by using two or more methods, right? So however, in your textbook they given some more problems. You may try to answer those in your own. If it is possible, demonstrate them, make a video and send it to me on WhatsApp, right? I'll check it out, and it is just like a project work at home at this time, right? I hope you do all this and you may send me the message, right? So this is about separation of materials. Along with this, let us know a little topic about solution. So here solution, what is meant by solution? Solution, it contains two parts. Every solution, it has two parts. That is, number one, it is called as solvent, and number two, that is called as solute. Number two, solute. So solvent plus solute. Solvent plus solute, it gives us solution. It gives us solution. So what happened here? The solvent, when it mixed with the solute, it become solution. Let us see what is meant by solvent. Actually, solvent is a liquid portion that is present in the solution. The liquid portion of the solution is called as solvent, whereas solute, here solute is a particle. It may be solid, it may be liquid, or it may be gas, whatever it may be, but solvent is always liquid in nature. Solvent is always liquid in nature, whereas the solute may be solid, liquid, or gaseous form. Okay, so here just imagine it is a solid like salt. It is solid like salt, so salt crystals are there, and we call it as solute. Means solvent can dissolve the solute. Solvent can dissolve the solute. Remember, what is solvent? Solvent dissolves the solute. Solvent dissolves the solute, and solvent is always a liquid. Then what is solute? Solute is maybe solid, liquid, or gaseous material which dissolves in solvent. Means solute dissolves in solvent, solvent dissolves the solute. Have you understood the difference? Solvent dissolves the solute, whereas solute get dissolves in solvent. Okay, and it may be solid or liquid or gas, whatever it may be. It may be solid, liquid, or gas, right? So this is about solution. Solution is made up of solvent and solute. Solvent is a liquid portion which can dissolve the solute, and solute is maybe solid, liquid, or gas which has the capacity to dissolve, which has dissolves in solvent. Okay, so this is about solution. Now in a solution, imagine here it is 100 ml of water you are taking. 100 ml of water. Now to this, imagine you added 2 teaspoons of sugar. Then what happens? It becomes sugar solution. Sugar solution. However, if you stir it well with a spoon, if you stir it well, if you mix it well, then the sugar dissolves. And again add 2 more teaspoons. Again stir it well, it dissolves. Again add 5 teaspoons. Okay, it is dissolving. Now add some more, it is dissolving. And finally, when you add excessive, then what happens? If you add excessive sugar, then what happens? The sugar crystals remain here. No more sugar crystals, they are going to be dissolved in water. Why it unable to dissolve the sugar crystals? Why? Because the water is satisfied. The water is satisfied. The water is satisfied with whatever the sugar that you added, and you are adding extra salt. Extra sugar. When you are adding extra sugar, then what happens? The liquid, the solvent is not ready to dissolve the solute particles. So the condition where solvent no more dissolves the solutes, this is what we call saturated solution. In case of saturated solution, what happens? The solution, it is already satisfied with the amount of sugar, and even if you are adding extra sugar, then what happens? The extra sugar means solute. It is not going to be dissolved. It is not going to be dissolved by the solvent. In the beginning, in the initial stage, it dissolved, but here it is satisfied now. No more liquid is ready to receive the solute particles or dissolve the solute particles. So that is what we call saturated solution. Look at here, where the solvent don't have capacity, or no more solvent no more dissolves the solute particles. It don't have the capacity to dissolve extra particles more than this. That is what we call saturated solution, that too at a particular temperature, at the given temperature, at a particular temperature. For example, you could add copper sulfate to the water at 20 degrees Celsius. 20 degree Celsius. How much it can able to satisfy? With how much grams? With 21 grams of copper sulfate can be dissolved in 100 ml of water. In 100 ml of water, we can dissolve 20 grams of copper sulfate at 20 degrees Celsius, means a particular temperature. So it is now satisfied. It is satisfied with whatever the material that you added. So like that, potassium nitrate 32 grams, sodium chloride 36 grams, sugar 204 grams. They make the 100 ml of water as a saturated solution. So children, I think you understood what is meant by saturated solution. Here we taken the example of copper sulfate. If you add 20 grams at 20 degrees Celsius, then it becomes saturated. If you add potassium nitrate instead of copper sulfate, if you add potassium nitrate, then 32 grams is enough for potassium nitrate. Sodium chloride, if you are adding salt, then 36 grams of salt can be dissolved in 100 ml of water. And if you want to add the sugar, then 204 grams can satisfy the 100 ml of water. So here this is about saturated solution. Again, this saturated solution can be changed depending upon the what you call temperature. Here we said at particular temperature. With the low temperature, high temperature, it shows the variation of dissolving capacity that we discuss in next class. So children, I hope you understood today's class. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.